like to say hi?
Hello, all you beautiful people out there. Welcome.
Welcome. How's everybody doing today?
You're moving our screen.
I know I'm moving our screen. Sorry, we had part of our backdrop was not showing properly.
Oh, well, it's wobbling anyway because we have a fan blowing.
We want you to feel like we're in Hawaii. That's what this one is. It's Hawaii.
Right.
We've never been there, but Scott from Controversial Cruising has. Anyway, welcome. I am one of your hosts. What's my name again? PJ?
PJ?
PB and J? From what Cheryl calls me? No. Okay, this is Ryan. With me, as always, is...
Melinda, his better half.
That's right. CJ and Christine will more than likely not make it tonight. They had some issues after the storm with their trailer that they had to go get checked out with the insurance company and stuff like that.
And it's a big mess, so they're dealing with that. So
it's a big mess.
We don't expect them to make an appearance tonight. If they do, then great. If not, we understand because, I mean, I'd be kind of upset if my trailer was leaking.
Yeah.
So
they're trying to get all that fixed out. But welcome to the show.
Yes, tonight's topic is specialty dining on cruise ships. So, has anybody, the question for tonight is, has anybody actually eaten at a specialty dining restaurant? And if so, what was your experience? What'd you like about it? Is it worth the money? I mean,
it's definitely something to consider because, right? I mean, the cruisers are not inexpensive anymore. I mean, let's not lie; they are getting up there in costs, and so with that, of course, it's all inclusive in many cases, with the main restaurant as well as your entertainment and standard drinks. Depending on what cruise line you're on, that could be just water, juices, tea, or it could include sodas. Again, depending on the cruise line, but a lot of people are like, "Why should I pay extra if it's already included?" And the main...
Well, let us tell you why you could pay extra. So one of the reasons you can pay extra is because a lot of time it's a lot cheaper to go out on these specialty restaurants than it is to go out in real life in the real world in land base. I mean, you're most likely you could pay $49 a person at the steakhouse and get away with what, $100 bill, I guess.
More than that. I mean, if you think about it,
at the most.
For instance, if we're looking at steakhouse, that's one of the varieties you can get there. Chops or Fahrenheit 555. Chops is on Carnival. Fahrenheit 555 on. Chops is on Royal.
Chops on Royal.
And Fahrenheit 555 is on Carnival. And what was one of the other ones? The Steakhouse or how do you pronounce it? Cagney Steakhouse on Norwegian.
So, I mean, if you're looking to do a celebration with your family, or if you got a special event you want to celebrate, that's a good time to book a specialty. And you can also book specialties before you get on the cruise. And a lot of times you can save money if you book early.
Yeah.
You just got to watch for the deals.
Yeah. And I would stack up the steaks at the steakhouses regardless, because we've eaten at least both Royal and Carnival Steakhouse. And we've also had steaks at Ocean Prime, which is a very high-end restaurant here in the Tampa Bay area, as well as Ruth Chris. And that's a super elevated steakhouse. And yo, Eddie, thanks for coming in. And I would say, let's compare it to, let's do Ruth Chris first. So going to Ruth Chris, if it was just Mel and I, and we got steaks, sides, which are kind of like family style sides, everything's a la carte there.
Yeah, everything's a la carte. And a dessert.
It is easily $250, $300 just for the two of us.
And drinking water.
Yeah. So you compare that to $59.99 which is generally, if you don't pre-book on Royal, for instance, it's usually $59.99, and I think Carnival is around the same.
I think Carnival's $49.99,
Yeah.
but
they're very close. And you could see that for less than $100 or just over $100, you're getting a quality meal to the level of a $250, $300 meal on land. So it is absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't have to just do steakhouse. I mean, they do. Every ship has their own version of an Italian restaurant, of a seafood restaurant, a French restaurant, sushi. Yeah,
sushi.
And there's also.
Wait, you're already on the road, Eddie? I thought you weren't getting on the road until super early Sunday morning or super late Friday night. Huh. You already making a trip. So, sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked, but
anyway, there are some cruise lines that have themed restaurants. For example, on Royal Caribbean, there is the Wonderland, which is a themed restaurant. So it's themed around the Alice in Wonderland. So everything in there is kind of served around or themed around or decorated around Alice in Wonderland. So what other restaurants have themes? I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Well, the newest one, fingers crossed.
On the Utopia.
Fingers crossed. Everybody cross everything, including my eyes.
Oh.
Because we have the unlimited dining package, but you can't book anything until you're on the ship. So, with all that being said, it is the Royal Railroad themed restaurant. So basically, what it is on the Utopia, they have replaced Wonderland with this Royal Railway restaurant, and it is themed around the Old West. It's an interactive dinner show where you feel like you're in an old train and you're served your meal there, and there's supposedly a show that goes on throughout the whole thing where you're getting stagecoach robbed, the train robbery from bandits and things along that line. So that's another themed one that is a pretty big experience, and quite frankly, I've seen pluses and I've seen a lot of minuses on it. I've heard the food's not that great, but you're really paying for the entertainment show.
Well, I would say the same thing about Wonderland. I didn't mind going one time. I don't know if I'll go again because the food was okay.
Yeah.
It's just ordinary food presented in a unique way, which was pretty cool. But if you're going to pay that much money, I'm kind of looking for something a little bit more upscale, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we paid for the theme going there.
Yep. Welcome, Alice. Thanks for coming in. But yeah, and for the record, if you are looking to experience Wonderland and you haven't before, by all means do it. But be prepared for really the main attraction in Wonderland are the appetizers. And they usually bring out a plethora of appetizers, and those are the ones that are really uniquely made. For instance, you get one spoon of a lobster bisque that has a gelatin, so it all the bisque is within this gelatin coating that's very thin, and it sits on your spoon, and then it dissolves in your mouth when you taste it. And they have some deviled eggs that have some sriracha on it, and it's served in a little bird nest of fried wontons, and they have smoke inside a glass cover that they pull off. So a lot of it is the presentation and the uniqueness of the appetizers.
We do have a video on Wonderland, so if you're interested in see what our experience was, go check out our video on Wonderland. We really did have a great time. It was on, what ship was it? It was on
we were on the Wonder.
We were on the Wonder of the Seas.
Yeah. Alice, sorry. Alice was saying they were getting an oil change before they and they're driving home now. So I was like, are they already on the way to Tampa? But I know you guys are driving now. So
we got to do an oil change in our truck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. You guys weren't leaving until the morning. It caught me off guard, but makes sense trying to get all that taken care of before the long haul.
So what is your favorite specialty?
Oh, man.
And you can do it by cruise line if you want. I'll make it easy.
I've only eaten there once, and I'm really, really looking forward to it on the Utopia. But 150 Park Central. It's the steakhouse that are on
I can see that.
the larger ships. And, we love Chops. Chops, I would love to. But I just loved the ambiance of 150 Park Central. I mean, it went from a Chops level, which is already super high as far as quality of food and service, and it kicked it up a notch even further with white glove service.
Well, that brings another topic: dress code. So in this type of restaurant, when you go to 151, I feel that you have to up your game in your dress code.
Yes.
So you cannot go in there. I don't think with jeans. I mean, you're stretching it.
Yeah, and I know when we went, normally when we go, it would be a collared shirt, like one of my Florida shirts, a pair of khaki shorts, and we would go to Chops or Giovanni's or someplace like that. But I felt as if long khakis going into 150 Park Central was the more acceptable and expected attire, just based on the elegance of that particular
And I
restaurant.
did a dress with just dress shoes. So, yeah, I feel with that kind of restaurant, you have to do that. But with Chops, I feel like you can roll it back just a little bit. I mean, maybe do a smart casual. Is that the right term? Or business casual?
Yeah, like a smart casual, if you will. Yeah. But yeah, Ace, Florida 1, thanks for coming in. And yeah, if you want to share your link, just do the pound PKAT. So pound PKAT, and Nightbot will do its thing and drop your link. That way everyone can connect with you.
So what about Carnival?
Carnival, really, in all honesty, man, that one's so hard.
I know what mine is.
I know what yours is on Carnival. And you know what? I'll probably side with you on that because their steak, Carnival Steakhouse is good as well. We've had the Capitan
Capitano. I can never pronounce the Italian restaurants.
Yeah, I can never. Cucina del Capitan. Cucina del Capitan.
Yeah.
But when we were on the Mardi Gras and we had Chibang, that was just an amazing mashup of Chinese and Mexican, two of our favorite cuisines, thrown together in one setting. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was great to do tacos and then do like wonton soup for the appetizer. So so that one is my favorite on Carnival. On Royal, I have to go with the Italian restaurant. I think Jamie's. I really like the variety of the menu there. I think, and I love Italian. So I work for an Italian company, so it's like I get Italian influence all day long. So I really, really, really like the Italian on that one.
Yeah, that one is good too. There you go. I went ahead and dropped your link, Ace Florida 1, just in case the PKAT, the hashtag PKAT doesn't work for you.
So another food is seafood. We tried the Hooked for the first time on the Wonder of the Sea, and I thought that one was really good. It was very surprising good. But Carnival doesn't really have a seafood restaurant to compare to, I don't think.
They actually do. We haven't been to it, and it's only on the, what do they call them, the Excel class ships, Mardi Gras celebration. But it's Rudy's Sea Grill is there. So remember, we were going to go to it, but then we ended up not going to it in the long run.
So, can we talk about Chef's Table? Is that considered a specialty?
I would absolutely consider that a specialty.
So Chef's Table, we've done, Ryan and I have done both Carnival and Royal, and we've done it three times at least.
4 times.
4 times?
2 on Carnival and 2 on Royal.
Okay.
Woo.
So I guess we've done 2 and 2. So I liked, I'm trying to think of it. I think the location is important with the Chef's Table because we've done it in the actual kitchen, which was kind of unusual.
Yeah.
And then we've done it in a private room.
Yeah.
And we have also done
library. That was
the library.
We've done it in the library as
and where was the other location?
Another private
room.
Yeah, another private.
So we've done it, and they usually, when you do a chef's table, it's about $100 a person if you have the dining package. And this, we're talking about like a 9-course meal, just about. At least with Carnival, it's 9-course. I think Royal's 7.
Something like that. But it's $50 a person if you have the unlimited plan.
Okay.
It's $100 a person, if not a little bit more, if you're doing it a la carte.
So you also, in addition, get the 7 or 9-course meal. You get a pairing with a wine too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you make sure you do not eat the whole day. I'm serious. Because make sure you drink water all day, because by the third glass of wine, you're making really bad jokes.
Yep. and don't do what we did when we were on the Brilliance, and that is do a taste of Royal for lunch on the same day that you're doing the chef's table for dinner.
So tell them what the Royal lunch is, because not everybody knows it. I didn't know anything about it until that cruise, I believe.
I know. They came around and were like, what is it? So a taste of Royal is kind of like a chef's table up to a point, but on a much larger scale. And what it is you go during lunchtime, and there are usually lots of different groups, and they pick a restaurant like a Giovanni's or a Chops or something like that. And what you do is, for a cheaper cost than what you paid for the chef's table, you still go in there and experience different meals from the different restaurants around the fleet. So that's actually one of the ways that we tasted some of the rolls, the Park 150 Park Central, and some of the Wonderland appetizers was through Taste of Royal.
Which I think is a great idea, because it encourages you to next time go to those restaurants if you find something that you like off that menu. Mm-hmm. It
wasn't bad too. I think it was like $40 a person.
It was fairly cheap.
Yeah.
And you basically went into I think ours was actually in the Chops restaurant at one point.
One of them was in Chops, the other was in Giovanni's.
So they mark out one of the restaurants, and you go in there and you paid and everything. So yeah, when we did the chef's table, we ended up doing the Royal lunch right before, which was not a good thing to do, because we weren't hungry until like the next day, like in the afternoon.
Yeah. But we were like, we're going to eat everything at the chef's table, darn it.
Yeah. So you really do need to block out a good 2+ hours when you do the chef's table, mm-hmm. because you don't rush through it. It's a sitting down experience, and it's like, it's an event basically.
Yes, definitely an event. And as long as even if you don't let them know ahead of time, because we forgot to until we got there, but if you have any kind of allergies, they will normally touch base with you prior to the event and say, hey, give us a call. Let us know if you've got any kind of allergies. And they'll make sure that they create a dish, that is still up to the level of what everyone else is getting. But again, not having whatever the allergen is, because we had someone who's allergic to shellfish, and one of our dishes included shellfish, so they ended up. It was one of the appetizers. Oh yeah, we had like scallop carpaccio, which is technically a shellfish.
Right.
So they ended up, switching it out to a beef carpaccio for them.
Yeah, and this is also where we got, when you do the chef's table, you get to meet like the head chef. So. Yes. And they come out, and usually they actually have a bartender that comes in as well.
Yes, so sommelier.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Wine specialist. Sommelier.
Well, not just that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We had a guy come in and actually make a dessert.
It's espresso martini.
Espresso martinis, and he gave us a little show when he did it. So, and the guy actually won some kind of competition.
I think he placed 4th in the world of the bartender challenges that rotate to different companies.
Apparently, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So it's a nice experience. Usually, it's less than 20 people. It's a very limited space, so that's something you're interested in, make sure you book it as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah.
They usually only do one on the shorter cruises and maybe two on longer cruises, like the 7 days. But it just depends on, it varies per ship.
Yep. And the experience varies. For instance, on Royal, everything was done in the room. We went to the room, we ate, and had all the pairings and everything there. Both times we did it on Carnival. Now, this was pre-COVID. But when we were on Carnival, it also included a tour of the galley and some appetizers and things like that in the actual galley scene.
I thought that was cool.
Which was really cool. But again, you can't quote me on it. I know things have changed, especially since COVID. So I don't know if they still do the galley tour or not. But that was a cool aspect. And they taught us how to make the warm chocolate melting cake and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
Oh.
So, all right. So we're too much on the chef's table, but definitely worth the experience, either the chef's table or Taste of Royal. So far I've only seen that on Royal, but again, we haven't branched out, which we're going to be starting to do now to some of the other ones.
Yeah, because
to see if
I'm actually, speaking of food, while we're on the food topic, I'm very interested in trying Virgin, because Virgin does their food a lot different than the other cruise lines. They do not have a buffet, for one. Yeah. And then two, everything's made to order. Like, there's not really a restaurant. There's just, everything is, quote, specialty restaurants, but they're included.
Yes.
Do you want to say hi, Peach?
I say hi, Peachy. She's like, Daddy gave me a bath today. Mean old Daddy got all the hard work and smell off me. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so you've got those. And most cruise ships, again, they have the major locations like you had mentioned. They usually have an Italian place, a steakhouse, Japanese hibachi / sushi one.
And the dining packages. So,
hey, how's it going, Orange Cone Vlog? Thanks for coming in tonight.
When we do our special dining, we end up getting the dining package just because we know we want to experience all these new restaurants so we can report back to you guys. So we end up getting the dining package because it's worth it to us. And if that's your case, it's going to be worth it to buy the dining package versus going to each restaurant paid individually. It's going to be a lot cheaper.
Definitely. And for us, we used to always be, the restaurant, the main dining room, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
now.
we were poor too.
So we were poor back then. Yes,
we're still poor.
But we're selective poor.
But we budget for it, so that's part of our experience. We include that as part of our cruise fare. Mm-hmm. So we budget for that. We budget for casino, and we budget for expenditures and everything. So we always do our tips when we book our cruise. So as long as you budget for it, you can do it.
You can do it. Yep. And the main dining room, don't get me wrong, has really great food too. So you can still do it, without having to go to a specialty. But like Mel said, we have found that we do tend to gravitate towards more specialty restaurants now because we've been cruising since 99.
We're foodies. So when
we're
foodies, you like to have the upscale, not necessarily the upscale, but the unique menus is what I'm looking for.
Yep. And OCV said on Royal, they did the unlimited, and NCL they had one included and one gifted from the agency.
Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. And we have found we've also done with Royal. Occasionally they'll do like a Chops +1 or a 3-night meal.
Right.
And we tried the 3-night meal. We really did. We were like, you know what? We're going to go cheaper this time. We're just going to do the 3-night meal. And then guess who got talked in by a great waiter in Chops to come back to Chops 2 more times? We should have just gotten the unlimited dining by that point. But he did give us a really good discount. I mean, we made really good friends. And he's like, I'll give it to you 50% off. Buy one, get one if you guys come back. So we came back 2 more times that cruise.
All right. Well, we want to make sure we end on time tonight.
Cheryl. Hey, how's it going?
Cheryl. So we're going to talk a few more minutes because we want everybody to make sure they go over to Controversial Cruising because they have trivia tonight.
Thursday.
And we have some chores that we have to do before tomorrow.
Yep.
So what else could you say about specialties?
I would say that it's definitely just, looking at it in the end, it's definitely worth experiencing. Especially if you ever wondered what it's like for some of these land-based upscale restaurants. If you're already on a cruise, you can get it for a much cheaper cost and experience that same high quality.
Sorry, it's hot here. Florida's not participating in fall right now.
Yeah, right. We participated for a week and then we were done.
Yeah. So how's our poll doing?
Oh yeah, let's take a look at our poll.
Did anybody go in there yet?
So I'm going to go ahead and if you haven't voted yet in your poll, I'll give you a few more seconds. So get in there and vote yes or no if you've eaten at a specialty restaurant. And then I will close this out.
I wonder how Princess Cruise specialties are.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. And wow, look at that. 8 votes and 100%. Yes, everyone is saying that they have tried a specialty restaurant. So.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, the cruise lines, they're on to something with these specialty restaurants. That's how they can get more revenue with these specialties restaurants.
Yeah, and I would have to say specialties are also good, too, because if you want that more intimate dining, and you don't want the hubbub of, some people don't like it, the dancing of the waiters and stuff like that, or the large table services, or just the hustle and bustle of a more restaurant feel, especially if it's your time dining. That's more like a turn and burn table. So if you want that slow paced, upscaled things, and that's what you're looking at. Come in. Thanks for coming in. Tuber Chat.
Hello.
So,
but yeah, the like you said, the menus, the atmosphere. I mean, that's worth it to us for the specialties, and we, like we said, we've eaten in the dining room. We love to have breakfast in there. We just don't do it a lot anymore, just because I guess we got a little spoiled with the specialty restaurants.
Yes.
So we were totally going to not do the dining package on the Utopia.
Yes, we totally were not going to do it.
And then we decided to go ahead and do it because there was a couple restaurants we wanted to try on there.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, and when I told Mela, and not only that, but they were doing a 40% off for the unlimited, and I was like, we're going to get it.
That's one of the best discounts you can. I don't think you can get it more than 40%.
That's the best I've seen in a long time.
But we should close out so we can stay on time. And
yeah, Thirsty Thursday trivia. So I put in Controversial Cruising's link in here. So definitely head over there for Thirsty Thursday trivia. We should be back to our normal time next week of Wednesday. We did move it to Thursday just for my brother's birthday. So again, thank you guys. Again, 100% thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
Yep, and we will catch you next week.
Bye-bye. Ta-ta.